Okay, so this video is going to be extremely hard for just a lot of things. There's just so much things to this video. This is about the Pokemon Sword and Shield controversy, and there's just so much things to it. So basically, if you don't know, which if you don't know, then I don't know why you're watching this video, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad that you're here. Basically, what went down is pretty much there is the Pokemon Sword and Shield Treehouse live on the E3, where not the demo so much, where the guy's just doing a demonstration on showing off some stuff and some features and stuff like that. It's more so what the person said or what the developers decided upon that got people triggered. And I need to put my 2 cents in it to show my perspective and to show that, like, you might be surprised and you might be triggered on what I have to say as well. What I want to say is just please keep an open mind just for the moment. Basically, where the controversy lies is that they mentioned that if there's a Pokemon that is viable in the Pokemon Galar Dex, then it's in the game. If it's not in the Galar Dex, it is not in the game. So therefore, there's no National Dex, pretty much. I don't know if this means it's going to be 400 Pokemon or 200 Pokemon or how many Galar Pokemon is there going to be in the game. I'm not really sure. I have no idea. And they say they carefully selected some Pokemon, the ones that best represent that people really like or whatever. So yeah, there you go. That's what they said. And then ever since then, people just been so triggered. And there's something that really kills me inside, is that I love people and I hate people at the same time. I know those are two conflicting statements, but I mean, I say this too, like on a job I had. Like, that's the reason why I liked my job so much, is for the same reason I hate my job, is because the people. Because you know very well that the individual, the person, is very smart, very intelligent, you know, very bright person. But if it's a group of people, oh my god, it's just so stressful and I hate it. I cannot stand it. Once there's something going, it just goes. Like, if it's a different controversy, it's shoot first and ask questions later. It's not even, I don't know. Like, for example, like, if we're gonna stick with this on Pokemon, if it's about like the Pokemon Battle League or something like that, if they're doing Wi-Fi battles and they're saying it's a semi competitive matchup, they're only saying that because of the people. If the people weren't riled up and screaming at them about a simple mistake that they made, chopping their head off, it's like, come on. It's like, it's not that serious. That's my standpoint on it, because the way I look at it, it's almost like there's like this guy that really likes this girl, and this girl is Sword and Shield, just so you know, and then the guy right here is the people. Let's just say that the people go like, oh man, I really like this is cool, I like you, you know. And then she's like, yeah, it's cool, I like you too. Do you mind if I, you know, I'm allergic to cats, could you maybe put your cat away? And then the guys are like, cats? You're not gonna put cats in what? You don't like cats? Man, freak you, man, freak you. You're ugly anyway. And your shoes are ugly too. That's my perspective on it, because it's almost like you're finding ways to pick apart something only because of something else. I don't feel like that's fair to the game at all. It's like, what's with this negativity? Ever since this whole thing, people have been picking apart the game. Like, why? What's with this negativity? That's how I see it. I don't know. I'll explain more to it as well. And I'll explain a lot of things. There's so much to this. There's so many layers to this that I want to talk about. My first reaction to this when they say that, and I don't have any notes or anything like that. My first instincts, my first impressions of the game pretty much was like, you know, when they say, oh, Galaroli, I know National Dex or whatever. I thought about it in two perspectives. I thought about it as a content creator perspective, and I thought about it in a fan's perspective. And there's another thing too. There was something I was going to mention, and I totally forgot just now. Shoot. Anyway, continue what I was about to say. In a content creation standpoint, I'm all like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. Now, if I wanted to do a Sword and Shield randomizer, it's not going to be that entertaining because more likely they might be the same Pokemon than, you know, before or whatever. If I were to do multiple ones, if I were to do like a randomizer, if I was going to do a co-op or a Soul Link or a Versus or whatever, roughly it's about to be the same Pokemon. That's what I'm saying. It's the same reason why in Leaf Green I did a randomizer Nuzlocke opposed to a regular Nuzlocke. Because if you think about it, in a regular Nuzlocke, the chances of getting the same Pokemon are pretty freaking high. Because if you go in the first route, more likely it's a 50-50 shot of getting Rattata or Pidgey. And 100% of the time, you're going to get a Pidgey at some point in the game, or Rattata at some point in the game. You know, most people can't escape a Zubat. And then Tentacool will probably be in there somewhere. You know, that you see what I'm trying to say? There's not really much diversity. And so in the content creation perspective, you want to have it entertaining. Because in a randomizer in the first route, you can run into a Rayquaza and be happy, you know? Even if you didn't catch it. It'll be entertaining to the people to watch. You go through the routes and it'll be different. You know, especially with like ROM hacks and stuff like that. I don't randomize those because most people hasn't played the ROM hacks, which is why you could randomize them, and I have seen people randomize them before, but that's mostly the case on why content creators don't really randomize ROM hacks. Plus the fact that they want to experience the games for themselves. But like, you see what I'm saying though, is like if you were to not randomize the game, more likely you'll get the same Pokemon pretty much. In Diamond and Pearl, you'll get either Bidoof, Starly, or Shinx if you were to go in the first route. Some point, you'll definitely get a Starly. That's without question. Staravias are everywhere. Everywhere. So that's my perspective on that. As a fan standpoint, that's a whole other box of worms. That's a completely other box of worms that opened up Pandora's box or whatever, because I look at it and I'm all like, I never had the luxury of even coming close to catching all the Pokemon anyway. Every Pokemon I played, I catched the Pokemon that existed within that game. The ones that are available to me where I could catch, rather than getting them given to me or traded by to me or transferring them or whatever. I never had that luxury, and even if I did, I only have 6 slots on my team, and more likely the chances are they're gonna be from that region alone. And how should I say this? Like, I don't know. I had times where I had a Kadabra and I wanted to trade it, and I asked a friend for a favor, or whenever the opportunity lies when I have a traded Pokemon. Most of the time I would always ask for the traded Pokemon back so I could just have that same Pokemon. I understand the sentimental value, but at the same time with Kadabra, for example, if I call him Morty, I'm like, here, okay, now give it back. Okay. I don't know, it's not, I never, there's very few times where I get excited over a trade. Like, the real times I got excited was like 4th gen, when I got my Magmortar finally and the Electivire finally, because they were, to me, a little bit harder to get. That's pretty much about it. And then there's all those other event Pokemon that I cannot get unless I want to hack the game. You know. But for another perspective on why people are angry is, like, if you guys don't understand yet on why the National Dex is a big deal to people, again, it's a sentimental thing, where if you were to get Bidoof, if you were to get a Bidoof from Heart Gold to Soul Silver, you trade it to the other one, or actually, let me do a better example. From Platinum to Heart Gold, you know, you could find Bidoof and Platinum in the grass somewhere, but in Heart Gold in the grass, you won't find them till post game, more likely. I forget where, but you trade it there, and then Bidoof appears, you know, because the data is within the game. But let's say you wanted to have your Pokemon home Pokemon. You go trade it to Sword and Shield. That Pokemon, if it's not in the Galar Dex, the data is not within the game. Period. It's just not in the game. And I get that, okay? But that's where the negativity lies, where I don't understand why they feel the need to not only say about the no National Dex thing, or bring back National Dex, sorry, but picking apart the rest of the game. It's not even out yet. It's like, what are you guys doing? I don't like the same group of people that are posting videos 5 in a row, 6 in a row for the past number of weeks. Like, I see content creators that are putting these videos out, and this isn't specifically one person I'm going after. I'm just saying this in general. This video's the purpose of generally if I'm reaching out to somebody to get my perspective and understanding, maybe, I don't know, I'm not really sure, like just getting a groundwork of what I'm trying to say here. Just keep an open mind, like at least try the game out. Save your judgment for later. It's the same thing for Sun and Moon. Like, most people don't even like the game, but at least they tried it out, they experienced it, and they made a judgment call. They were like, do I like this game or do I not like this game? Why don't I like this game? Okay, I don't like this game. That's fair. That's completely fair, okay? Like, I understand why people don't like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Okay, I understand it. But when the game doesn't come out yet for one thing, and then they're saying that, oh no, it's not only this thing, it's this thing, this thing, and this thing. It's like, really? Really? You're only saying that because of the first thing that came up. That's the example I gave where I was like, oh, you're ugly anyway. And they're finding really nitpicky things to go call them out. And your shoes are ugly too. You fucking bitch. Get the fuck out of my face. It's like, come on, really. It also comes down to expectation and standards. Those are two very important words. Expectation and standards. Now, let me give you examples on expectation and standards. And I'll give other examples too on what the other people are saying, pretty much. Just what I've been hearing on some things, you know. So, expectation and standards. So, standards, if you don't know, let's put it in a girl's perspective or a boy's perspective. If you want a hot girl or a hot man or whatever, you're looking for the perfect 10. You know, a 6 is not good enough in your eyes, you know, or it comes down to where you're looking at Sword and Shield and you're breaking it down graphically, and you're looking at some other games comparatively, go like, oh, the graphics aren't even all that, or whatever, and there's graphical mistakes. And then there comes some expectation. It's all like, you're looking at it from like, oh, if this is the best movie ever, then the sequel surely will top that, right? That's expectation. So let me give you actual examples of what I'm talking about. So you see this dog right here, right? Here's his name is Oswald, I guess. He's a white dog. And then there's these stairs right here. And then we have this dog right here. He has a broken leg, and so he only has 3 functional legs working for him. Here's some stairs right here too. If they were to race on who gets to the top of those stairs, who do you think will win? Okay, obviously the white dog, right? Or maybe the 3-legged dog will, you know, kind of break your expectations and beat up to go to the top of the stairs. So you get him to the race, and look who's here. The white dog's at the top. A full 100% all the way up the stairs. By the time he's at the 100% mark on the top of the stairs, the 3-legged dog only makes it 25% up the stairs. Okay, now they go on the second race. So the second race, the white dog and the 3-legged dog, oh, the 3-legged dog name is Bernie, by the way. So they have their second race, boom. Okay, the white dog made it up the stairs again. He beat the 3-legged dog. But now the 3-legged dog made it 65% up the way up the stairs. Isn't that impressive? Oh my god, good job. Oh, good for you. But it's like you're looking at the other dog, it's all like, wait, how come You look at the other dog and you're not congratulating him. You know why? Because that's to be expected. You're expecting him to go 100%. But what if we change that up yet again? We have a third race this time. We have the dog go up there again, and then we have the three-legged dog. One more time. Boom! Okay. This time the dog decided not to go up all the way on the stairs. He got distracted and he saw a rat on the side or something like that. He only makes it 90% up the stairs. And we see the dog go up 70% up the stairs. And, you know, he just decides to stop or whatever. My point is, you're going to look at that white dog and go like, how come you're not at 100%? What the heck? And then you're going to look at the dog on the left and go like, oh my god, you did even better than before. Isn't that incredible? Expectation and standards. You have to see it if it's justifiable or not too. You're looking at Sword and Shield and you don't think that the graphics look fine? Like, they're better than Sun and Moon's. You can't compare them with all the other games. You can't compare it with Halo, which looks so realistic people can't even figure it out. You can't compare it with that. Here's another example of expectations and standards. To the right, here's Jimmy. He has an A+ on his test. Good job, Jimmy. You did a good job. To the left, you see Charlie. He has a D-. That's not okay, Charlie. I almost called you Jimmy. That's not okay. Now, next week they have a test. Hopefully, you know, there's some improvement. Hopefully Jimmy gets another A+. Oh, but who knows? He might get one anyway. He's a straight A student. That's just how he is. Charlie, on the other hand, he kind of struggles with this stuff. Next week comes around. To the right again. Jimmy has another A+. Okay. And Charlie, what's this? He has an A-. Oh my god. Oh my god. Good job, Charlie. Oh, what about Jimmy? Oh, we already knew he was going to get an A+. That's expectation, and that's standard. You didn't expect Charlie to have a better grade just by that alone. It's not from zero to, it's not from the ground up to do better. He was at a place where he could be failing, but he improved. That's expectation and that's standards. If you expect this person that has straight A's throughout all his tests, you're going to expect another A from him. Anything lower than that, you'll feel like he's not trying hard enough. And that's expectation. And that's not fair to the person. You look at the other person who could be either doing it on purpose or struggling to do this, that has the D-, that finally improves to get that A-. And then all of a sudden, oh my god, that's incredible, good job. It's more of a reaction to it. I kid you not, in real life, family members was like this, where there was the straight A student and then the other guy that doesn't really have the straight A's. All of a sudden he has a good grade, they're congratulating him and they're not congratulating the other guy. That actually happened. If we were to look at it through a standpoint where the first reaction is amazing, so you expect it to be amazing again. If you look at the design of Sonic, you're like, oh, I mean, it's public knowledge that like Sonic is appealing to the audience. People like Sonic and the way he looks and all like that. And then you look at this thing, you're like, what the fuck is this? This is nothing like this at all. If it was switched around, it'd be a different response. It'd be like, okay, what the hell is this? Okay, well, that's much better. It's a positive reaction, unlike the negative reaction. It's from start to finish, and then finish to start or whatever. Here's another thing. If you were to look at, like, the lizard, for example, this was the aftermath. This is a new design from 1994. You want to know what the original design of the lizard looks like? Bam! You like that? Look how much improvement from here to here. If you were to tell me that the lizard started off this way and there was a movie about the lizard, let's just assume that he has his own series. The lizard has his own series and now his movie comes out and then this thing pops up. Wouldn't you be like, what the fuck is this? Where's my lizard? He looks nothing like it. It would be a bad reaction, right? Because you're expecting the lizard to look like the lizard. It's expectation and standards. Your standards are high when it comes to this kind of stuff. When you look at the lizard and you look at this thing, the standards just got lower automatically from this to this, because The expectation hasn't been met. It's the fact that there's like that phrase where there's raising the bar and whatnot. The expectation of the lizard to look the same, the standards of it where you think the quality is going to be the same and it's just not. All of it just goes to shit. Now, for your standards when it comes to your taste in relationships or the taste of your food really depends too. Your expectations and your standards. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the steak and you expect it to taste good. Your standards are high with the steak, okay? If it's not met, then it's just plain awful, or it just depends. And if you think that steak isn't that bad compared to the next person next to you, then your standards isn't as high as you think, and that's a good thing, because you could tolerate things. Because if you go to a restaurant you're not familiar with, you ask for that steak, and it looks weird, and it smells weird, but it tastes good. Oh, you're surprised. It's a good thing all of a sudden. I hope you understand my points here. It's like comparing a Lamborghini with a Volkswagen Bug. Come on now. If they're both functional, then it's fine. People are thinking that this game is gonna be rushed and it's not gonna be good or whatever, and they're thinking that it's gonna be the same fate as Sonic 06. Come on now. I think we all know what happened to Sonic 06. People demanded the game early, so they had to rush it, they could not finish it, and now it's the laughing stock of video games. People play it for the thrill of it, and it's like a guilty pleasure to some people. Some other people just cannot fathom how bad it is. And you think that's the fate of Sword and Shield. People are complaining about the animations. Like they're looking at it and they're comparing it with a completely other game. Like for example, they're comparing it with Pokemon Battle Revolution, which by the way, the developer is not even Game Freak. It's Genius Sonority. You know what Genius Sonority did in the past? Covering games and stuff? Dragon Quest. And you're gonna compare it to that. Oh, but it's 15 years ago. Oh bro, it's 2019. The graphics should be good. I've been hearing insert year here since 2013. You know, it's the same thing where like, I guarantee you at some point, oh sir, are you selling chimneys? Oh yes, I have chimneys, you know. Yes, but does it have 2 pipes instead of 1? No, I don't think it matters. It's 1806, man. How do you not have 2 pipes on your chimney? Okay, see, like, I don't know how specific or what would they say, but the whole point is there's gonna be standards on like what people would expect. You know, people fully expect, it's not even a question, people fully expect for TV shows to have color, right? That's a standards. Those are the standards for a TV show to have color. But for standards where people expect to have a full Pokédex, to have full animations with them running up to the Pokemon and doing fluid movements, to have full HD, to have all the things in a silver platter for them, where they're not. Have you not seen the entirety of the Pokemon Core series? They've been doing baby steps. Not all of it was that. We only had the 3D games at X and Y. From X and Y, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, and Sword and Shield, and then they're saying, oh, they ripped off animations from X and Y. Okay, they recycled the animations. That's been a problem for years, and that's something that I wouldn't even consider a problem really, because that's always been a thing. I don't understand why they're confused about that. That's always been a thing. Literally always been a thing. Here's another game where people are complaining about, where they're comparing Pokemon Stadium of all things with Sword and Shield, with animations and all that. Fun fact, the Machop that they use in that video, it's also the same exact Machop that they recycled for Pokemon Coliseum. It's been a thing for years where they reuse stuff, where they reuse models, where they reuse animations, and they're gonna complain about that. That honestly pisses me off. It's like, why the heck are you nitpicking all this stuff? And they're saying, oh, Sword and Shield Apologist gets destroyed. Or it's the same guy that says, oh, I have a theory about this, and here's the truth. And some other, I don't know, and these are these content creators don't even, it's like, why? I don't understand why. Like, what makes them think by comparing Pokemon Battle Revolution, a game 10 plus years ago? I get it, it's 2019. Okay, there's gotta be improvements. There's guaranteed gotta be improvements. I guarantee you that there's going to be improvements. And people are gonna complain, oh, it's 2030, we should have holograms already, it's VR or some shit. It's something that's gonna happen that they're gonna complain, saying the same bullshit. I swear to God to you, is going to happen. That 2013 comment that I said, that literally happened. A friend of mine said that to me. It's 2013, bro, they should have had this, this, and this. And he was talking about a movie. It's like the movie wasn't that bad. And speaking of movie, I brought this up and never even finished my thought. It has to be justifiable. There is some things that would not be justifiable. That's understandable. Where the criticism is fair. You know, it's Sword and Shield, where the game you don't even see yet. But then there's the other half where you see, like for example, Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. You know how we already mentioned Sonic 06? Well, people were very annoyed at how the model looks. This is exactly justifiable. You know why? Because this doesn't represent Sonic, you know? And that's another thought I just remembered. I almost completely forgot to mention this. But I'll get to that. This is completely justifiable because this looks nowhere near for what the original picture looks like. You know how movies like to redesign stuff, you know, with Spider-Man having redesigns and people are like, that looks kind of weird, let's go back to the original Spider-Man. Or, you know what I'm trying to say. What people grew up and know and love is Sonic, and this is not the same Sonic, then that's justifiable. This is far from the truth. But you think Pokemon Sword and Shield is far from the truth from the core series? People are saying, oh, forget Dynamax, bring back the National Pokédex. I mean, if you want to drop a new feature, there's a reason why they're going to drop the Mega Evolutions too, and it's for that reason, to highlight Dynamax. I mean, yeah, sure, they could put in Mega Evolutions, it wouldn't be a problem. But people are saying that they're being lazy. My honest opinion, I think that was a choice from a long time ago. We're nearing 1,000 Pokemon, and I understand that the Switch has I understand that the Switch has a lot of power for it to fit almost everything, okay? I understand that. But the decision was made because it's close to 1,000. Like, just imagine this 5 years ago or 10 years ago or something like that, when if there was 800 Pokemon, you don't think it would be cut then? There would be no space. You think Game Freak is lazy when you know for a fact that from Red and Blue to Gold and Silver that they were going to make this, but they instead wanted to make this instead. They improved. People are gonna use, oh, Game Freak doesn't care about their fans because of like, oh, here's an example right here. We go play Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire and they took out the Battle Frontier. You know, to be honest, when I looked at that, I'm all like, yeah, that hurts a little bit. But then I thought about it. I'm all like, oh, wait. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire based off Ruby and Sapphire. And Ruby and Sapphire didn't have the Battle Frontier either. The sign didn't say that, oh, this is like a joke. Haha, I can't believe you fell for it. We don't have a Battle Frontier. No, it said project is in the making for a Battle Frontier. As in, if they had an Emerald remake, there would be a Battle Frontier. I'll admit if I'm wrong if there's a Diamond and Pearl remake that shows a Battle Frontier. But more likely, there won't be a Battle Frontier for Diamond and Pearl either. And the fact that there's some videos too where there's like people saying, like they're drilling on people that are trying to defend this. They're drilling on people that are defending Sword and Shield. They're like, I'm waiting to buy the game, just give it a chance. And they're all like, oh, so this person's admitting to this, this, and this. It's like, really, dude? You're gonna look at it like that. I 100% agree that criticism is fine when you're not a game developer, because it's the same thing with like food. You don't have to be a chef to be a critique on that, or you don't have to be that profession to be that critique. But you do have to be familiar with it somehow, some way. Like, you don't have to be a game developer to critique games, but you do have to have some knowledge with the game that you're playing, or games in general, or whatever it is. I don't think your 7-year-old grandpa would understand Pokemon right now if he were to play it. There is that one thing where Game Freak is prioritizing town, that they're prioritizing that more than Pokemon, and the fact that, here's the proof, is that, oh, we hope that this is, they're hoping that it'll be equal or even better than Pokemon. You realize that Game Freak is known for Pokemon, right? Like, in my perspective, when it comes to that, don't get me wrong. Just correct me on this. Game Freak develops games, right? If they were to do another game, wouldn't that what they're supposed to be doing? Like call me crazy, but a game developing company would be developing games, right? Not just one game. People are going like, oh, just put all your attention into Pokemon. Like, people are saying that they're lazy, they don't care, that prioritizing one thing means that it's not caring for another. Oh, but I'm sure paying for your gas car is more important than your kid, right? Well, obviously when you're prioritizing, that doesn't mean that you don't care for the other thing. You care for your kid, obviously. It doesn't mean when you prioritize that you care for one thing and you care the least for the other. There's things that you have to prioritize. And the reason that they're trying to equal or even better Pokemon is because Game Freak is known for Pokemon. It's time for them to step out of the shadow that they're just not solely known for Pokemon. The fact that, like, all other game companies are known for multiple games, like if it's Ubisoft, it's Assassin's Creed and Rayman, like, you would think a Game Freak wants to expand, wouldn't you think so? People are saying like, oh, look at the graphics, it's even better than Sword and Shield. Well, I mean, if that's your taste, then that's fine, but I don't think you'll want these graphics in Sword and Shield, honestly. And even still, like I said, Sword and Shield are not even bad graphics, honestly. It's like, it's fine. People are already saying that town's gonna do terrible. Well, that's really depends on like how it sells, honestly. Like if people are gonna give it a chance. And if people do play it, if that one person that like buys a new game every month or something like that and tries out new games might find that diamond in the rough, and who knows, you might be eating your words and know that town is actually a very good game. You don't know that. So why are you judging it before it even came out? It makes no sense to me. It's not okay. It is not okay. Okay, now considering about all the graphical issues that you see here. You see that here's a floating rock, and then, oh, Machop just appeared out of nowhere. And then like Steelix appearing or reappearing or some bull. I don't know. For me, I always figured that this is a demo. Like I mentioned before in a past video, is that like demonstrators, they don't try to go too far in the game. Like they're at a certain point and they could only show what's on the key points of what they want to show off. Like people may disagree on that, that's fine too, I guess so, but like there's a lot of test runners where they have to test the game to find glitches, and they're going to run into that wall. They're going to find stuff that are a bit odd, and then they're going to fix it. It's not late in development. There's still 6 months left. There's still 6 months left. Well, less now, right now. It's like 4 months left now. But you guys are saying it too soon. This was at June when they were saying this. Some other people say that it won't change. And that might be fair, because like they see other Pokemon games and like the demos say that the graphics won't change. I don't think the graphics won't change either. I'm saying that the problems they see within where they could cause glitches more likely would be fixed. And you guys are also forgetting the fact that we live in an age where there's DLC. DLC is available. I mean, shoot, was Banjo-Kazooie in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate when it started off? No, it was DLC. I know that the case is that they might not do a DLC, but that's my thing that I'm hoping for. What I'm saying, for me, I'm not against not having the National Dex, and I'm not for it either. It really doesn't bother me whether we have it or don't. I prefer if we have the National Dex, to be honest, believe it or not. But I'm saying all these things because of these negative hits that are going on Sword and Shield for no reason, to Game Freak. For no reason. Like, does it bother you that much? The reason I'm making this video is because it's just a huge problem where it starts off with one thing and then they're crippling the game. The negativity is not needed. I don't want you guys to harass or to talk to these people and say, why don't you have this? I demand, bring back National Dex hashtag. Like, there's other ways of doing it, and that's not one of them. People are saying, oh, we should do it that way because it brings us back. Look what it did. It got Super Mario Maker 2 online gameplay. It got Sonic fixed. It's all like, okay, well, they did that because, I mean, the Sonic thing deserved it. That's true. The Super Mario Maker, not so much, but they did it. But can we not do it like this anymore? I really don't want to have it this way where people are just demanding furiously. They're really pissed off. And that there's like a theory too that some guys saying like they're pushing mobile games. Well, obviously they're pushing mobile games. It's not a theory, it's a fact. We already know this. And plus, the phone games aren't even made from Game Freak either. They're made from somebody else. All these games that they're comparing Sword and Shield to, Stadium 2, Battle Revolution, Pokemon Masters, are not made from Game Freak. They're not. And all these games that they're comparing it to, they're not even the core series games where they go collect A-Gym badges or whatever collectible it is, collect Pokemon, all that other stuff. And that's another thing I need to mention too. Compared to the core series game where you collect A-Gym badges or whatever collectible, you collect Pokemon, you go throughout your journey and stuff like that, there's storyline to it. Compared to Stadium and all the other ones where they're basically just battles, where there's nothing to it, where people would just push the animations. Like, if you're comparing Battle Revolution, if that's your game because of the animations, then I don't know what to tell you, bud, but that's not it. The storyline is not existent. That's not compared to be a good game. But don't tell me, oh, the game, if they fix the game animations, if they fix the game animations, that'll satisfy your buck, right? If they fix double kick or whatever, if they liven up all the moves, that'll make it the perfect game for you, right? No, it won't. Stop being a quality whore. Stop being a quality whore. I cannot stand them when they do that shit, man. It really just pisses me off. People will always dream about the perfect Pokemon game. But if you look at the core series, you'll see evidence on itself. If you just pan it all out, from Red and Blue to Sword and Shield, you'll see the progression throughout. You'll see what they're going for. You'll see Red and Blue, where it's pixelated, black and white, to once you get a Game Boy Color, it changes to color. From Gold and Silver, still graphically improved and still being 8-bit, to Ruby and Sapphire, to Diamond and Pearl, again improving. Oh, and let's not mention Fire Red and Leaf Green, where they go back to Gen 1. Oh, and there's Black and White, where the animations move. And then there's Black 2 and White 2, of course. You know, same progression there. But still, like, they're working on stuff. X and Y when they're finally hitting 3D. Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. I mean, come on. You really don't see the progression here. You think they're gonna have it all laid out for you. You think they're gonna have the Battle Revolution animations like that. People are just making it out to be so easy too. They use an example of Blaziken walking. Oh, you just use like that, and you have that. Just run up on the field and stuff like, you know. You realize that the battle set's always stationary. It's always been like that. And they had clever ways of using moves. That's always been a thing. For example, Pursuit. They use that, and what does the Pokemon does? It kind of scurries away, and then it gets hit. A lot of people are making fun of the motto. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch some of them. You know, the motto isn't exactly... People are not understanding what a motto is. Like, a motto, by definition, let me look it up. Because before I look it up, I'm not touching anything. Before I look it up, a motto, to me, means that something that is ideal. Something to aspire to. Now let me look up the definition. Motto. A short sentence or phrase chosen as encapsulating the beliefs or ideals guiding an individual, family, or institution. That doesn't mean what it is. How many Pokemon have Ash Ketchum caught? He is nowhere near even a fraction, a half. Ash Ketchum is nowhere near catching them all. And you're gonna say, oh, gotta catch some of them. That's never been the thing. The motto is something to aspire to. That's what people want you to believe. The sad truth is, when it comes to gotta catch them all, it's mostly marketing. And you know that. Don't pretend you don't, and don't use those words against me. I'm gonna look up how many Pokemon Ash caught. How many Pokemon in total did Ash Ketchum caught? I'm using Google Voice. And it says parentheses including 30 Toro, so I don't know if you heard, but just in case, Ash has owned a total of 80 different species of Pokemon. That's not even 100. That's not even 1/10 of all the Pokemon, and you're gonna use that against Game Freak, against Pokemon? You're gonna say, oh, gotta catch some of them. You're gonna make fun of that when it never been the thing to begin with. It always pisses me off when people use the motto against them. Oh, that's what it's all about. That's what it's never been about. It's about more than that. To me, what Pokemon means to me is the journey, the adventure. It is about the Pokemon, but then it's the partners along the way. I'm being corny here. Come on. You know what I'm trying to say. Is beating other trainers, is escalating, is ascending. You know what I'm trying to say here. That's the same thing where it pisses me off when they're like, oh, Sonic, gotta go fast. Let's use another Sonic example, you know. Gotta go fast. That's what Sonic's about. He's about going fast. No, that is not what Sonic's about. That's what he does. That's what Sonic's ability is. That's not what the game is about. Sonic is about... Like, okay, think about it this way. The Green Hill Zone, after that stage, what happens? There's platforming. Therefore, when there's platforming, there's some pacing involved. When there's pacing involved, at some points, you stop. And then you run, okay? That's basically how Sonic goes. Sonic's ability is to run fast. Most of the Sonic games have other characters that doesn't run as fast as Sonic, but they have other ways of playing the game. You know, Tails has his own thing, Knuckles has his own thing, Shadow has his own thing. You're gonna say that, oh, Sonic gotta go fast. That's what it's about. You're gonna use the motto just like in Pokemon, gotta catch them all. That's what you guys think. Sonic Unleashed, there's the Werehog. Oh, what is Sonic about? Is going fast, but Sonic the Werehog for some reason isn't going fast. Oh, that is going against Sonic. It's never been about that. That's what Sonic does. That's not what the game is about. Pokemon gotta catch them all. That's what the trainer do. That's not what Pokemon is about. You get what I'm saying? So I'm sorry. I just got super passionate about this. I'm sure I'm missing some point in or another. I don't know. I try to cover all of them. This is all top of memory. I was just ranting, and very angry rant. Holy shit. But just please hear me out. And just stop with the negativity. I swear, like 5-6 videos. Come on. For the past couple weeks. You guys know who it is too. Right? You could easily find out who. It's not just to them. It's to the crowd just so they could get an idea of what they're saying. People are saying mediocrity. How do you know it's mediocre? It's just by the way it looks. Stop being a quality whore. Just give it a chance. there's different ways of doing it, and there's different ways of advancing to finally get what you want, and that is the National Dex mode. If you want it, there's different ways of doing it. Just do not be negative towards them. It is not fair to them. It is not fair to them. Hopefully that reaches to somebody or something, and hopefully if anybody's listening to this, anybody at all, hopefully I don't receive any backlash or anything to it, but I stand by this. Like I said, I'm not against it, I'm not for it, I'm against the negativity. I don't like the negativity when it comes to this stuff. It makes no sense. If you're sentimental about the Pokemon, that's not the last time you're gonna see that Pokemon. You'll see him again, I promise you. I don't think the guy understood either about like the whole Pokemon thing, because he did respond. He was all like, oh, don't worry, you'll see the Pokemon in the future. But if we ask in a different way to get DLC for a National Dex mode, that's the biggest solution. People are saying delay the game. That could be the answer, but realistically, that is not going to happen. The most realistic thing is DLC. That's the biggest hope for. Like I said, my preference, I prefer there being a National Dex mode. That's my hope. I hope that this happens. Okay, none of this freaking quality bullshit. You know, I'm looking forward to Sword and Shield. I've been doing the breakdown analysis videos, and I've been loving every minute of it. Every time I see this game, it blew me away. And you guys are gonna shit this down, like really. For those that stand by me, leave in the comments. I would like to thank you guys personally. And that's going to be it. The next video, I'm not really sure, but the next video will be the second part to the first trailer, which I was planning to do, but Treehouse happened, and not only that, the controversy happened. That's pretty much it. White Tigers and Dragons to you, and you've been scarred by the night. I'm out.